going on? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, New Comic Book Day, or for the next 4 weeks, Moon Night Eve. What's going on? If you're on the West Coast, please do not ruin it. If you're on the East Coast, I mean, as long as you don't work tomorrow morning, I mean, you could probably stay up till 3 in the morning. I'm off tomorrow, so I might actually stay up, but I'm also 34 and I can't usually make it past 11 p.m. because I'm fucking tired. So we'll see what happens. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Moon Night Eve and New Comic Book Day Eve. Of course, you know, big things are going on right now in the comic world. You know, Whatnot is just taking over in Canada. Myself, you know, newbies buying Star Wars stuff. It's just, it's crazy. So, you know, I figured why not get it a little more crazier. I'm introducing a friend, new friend. You know what they say, you know, are you too old to make friends when you're older? But, you know, I met this guy at Toronto Comic-Con and, you know, he took my heart away. No, he was just a sweet dude. He got along with everybody. You know, we kind of clicked. Comic knowledge is, you know, up here. And he's just a really nice dude, man. So bringing him on the show, he is going to get his YouTube, you know, cherry pop. But before we do that, we got to pay homage to the guys that were here before. So I'm going to bring in my guy, Mr. BC, place to be. What's up, man?
Man, yo, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been together, bro. How you been?
It's good, man. Like, as you can see, my hair, you know, my barber bailed on me today, so tomorrow I look like a mess.
Your hair, you think that's bad, dude? Come on. But
dude, this is bad, man.
Two dudes talking hair. This is not what everyone's here for. Here for comics. But yeah, man, yo, it's been fun. I don't know if you caught the show last night. We actually spoiled Hulk 6, man. If you guys didn't, go check the replay.
Yep.
But,
so Comic Kingpins, I did post it. You guys were posting it, and yeah, big spoiler, right? You know, I just have too much respect for the artists and the writers to. No, I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with it. But no, it was a good time, man. You know what I mean? If you guys didn't do it, somebody else was gonna do it. You know, like we're just helping each other out. You know, you know. But I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm gonna say this right now. Right now, I will never trust Donny Cates ever again.
Oh, really?
Ever again.
Damn.
Zero. Never again, man.
You broke your heart, with the virus.
Dude, he just keeps doing it over and over. And then, you know, what you guys had said, just basically, you know, and the fact that Marvel 2 was like kind of hyping that book up and stuff, like it was just like, you know, what are we doing here? Right? Like it just showed me, you know, it's just dollars and cents. And that's what it is. And I get the game, I get how the world works, but yeah, that was just, you know, I know, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know some people around here who don't have that information, who don't watch YouTube because they're a little bit older. They went heavy on Hulk 6. Like I'm talking like multiple 1 in 25s. I'm talking like a bunch of fucking books here, man. So
well, dude, I'll be honest.
I'm worried.
Yeah, we found out the news after FOC, so I went pretty big too, right? You gotta cover bases, especially with the information being put out. But yeah, man, totally understand. People will still be going crazy. New Comic Book Day, you know this.
It's So I don't know. I think that Hulk 3 might, you know, get a little bit more up there than, you know, I don't know. It's just gonna be something. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. But anyway, tomorrow, obviously, you know, Moon Knight episode 2, Spider-Punk, right? His solo series, that's probably going to be the book. Everybody's going to be picking it up. Luckily, I was able to get a 1 in 25. You see, I think you got a 1 in 25.
I did. I found it to be actually the nicest cover outside the cover B.
But, yeah, upside down Rockstar. Guitar. I don't like the 1 in 50, man. I don't like it.
No, me neither. I wouldn't have spent money on the 1 in 50. 1 in 25 was the winner, and that's the one I spent money on. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring in our special guest, guys. You've seen him in the chats. You've seen him take pictures with a lot of us. He was not part of tripping Ozzy into the back. That story. He had nothing to do with it. I was there, so you know, don't start questioning him. But let's bring him out. I'm excited. His name is Greg, but you guys will know him as Rocksteady. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
So here's the one thing about Rocksteady you guys should know. He's on the West Coast, so that's why it kind of looks like it's light out right behind him, which I hate because it's fucking pitch dark over here.
It's crazy in the summer because the light stays up till 11 p.m. on the long days.
Nice.
So it stays bright here.
Oh my
Man, I would trade that any day. Well, mind
Yeah,
you,
I'll trade you for the winters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you guys got it. Yeah, you guys got it pretty bad. Yeah. So,
very true.
but
Thanks for
man,
having
thanks
me
for
on.
hanging out. Thanks for finally coming. We've been talking for since Toronto Comic Con, since we met, even before that, and it's just been a pleasure. So, I promised you I would get you on, and your knowledge is up there. You've taught me a few things. I've taught you zero, I think.
No,
but,
you've taught us all a few things.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. So yeah, let's get the show going, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hottest comics of March. Obviously, sometimes we kind of forget, oh my God, this comic came out. This was hot. We get into the FOMO, or as I like to let BC say, instead of FOMO,
You let me say
it's
JOMO.
there we go.
JOMO, baby. The
Yeah.
joy of missing out.
Joy of missing out.
There you go.
But it's also a time where some of us who went big on certain books and it didn't pan out, or maybe we didn't go big, or we found one copy and it did go big, just the craziness. But these are usually the books that made us go crazy, FOMO, go nuts, sleepless nights on, shoot, I saw this book here and it's gone. Where can I go? But that's what it is. So March's hottest comics. But before we get into that, let's get into the chat because I want to say hello to a few people. Den Delatore gold goes to the US and the Ancient One. Okay. Black Crown, screw it.
Yeah.
Give me the silver. All right. So we got one Canadian. Just Cruz in the house. He's back from the US. He was visiting family. Appreciate you, dude.
I just want to put it out there. That's my first medal on the show. So thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congrats, man. People usually camp out for a week in order to get it. So like,
Right.
you should be, happy. Brandon, what's going on? Bernard, I'll take plastic left for metal. All right. Okay. As a hunt champion, I'll come in when I like. I'm always wearing gold. Oof.
Oh, baby. Look at that, man.
All right. Okay. Whoa. I mean, I'm also a champ on that show too. So just saying. Still stunned from last night. Talk about a tale of two halves. Love my heels though. They did the world a favor by slaying the Dark Lord. And dude, honestly, man, I'm not going to rub it in, I'm not. It was a good game. History, right, with the comeback. If you're not familiar, Kansas was down by 16 or 18 at half. Kansas ended up beating North Carolina for the championship. So, yeah. Mr. TKO is in the house. What's going on? Uncanny Swag. Mr. T-Bone. Uncanny X Dan. Nicholas. Showtime. AOA. What is going on, sir? Hard Knock. What is going on? Hard Knocks Collectibles. RP's in the house. So we got a lot of Canadians in here. The Hulk is shit. If I want to read about Megazord, I'll buy Power Rangers.
Yo.
Crushes my soul how bad it is. One copy because I have to read the Hulk. Damn, man. Damn. Wow. Remember, when Cates took over, it was like a hype train. And the same people that were saying like, no, fuck it, right? From the virus and the other stuff, jumped on this so quickly that it really surprised me because now, even like 3 issues in, people were like, this is garbage. And then they just kept buying into issue 6. You know what I kept hearing? And I don't know about you guys. BC, I know you've heard me say this because I've said this about other people. Everybody is comparing Hulk 3 or Hulk 6, or they were hoping that it would be like Venom 3.
Oh, God, yeah. Well,
Right?
dude, understandably so,
Yeah,
though.
for sure.
Understandably so, though, because Marvel came out openly saying that Hulk 6 was bringing in a villain at a null scale, right? So they did hype it. So
I feel like Donny Cates fans are like Maple Leaf fans, right? Like this is the year, and it never pans out, right?
yeah, it's
That's
always
my wife downstairs right now. She's watching the Panthers game. I went down and because I was upstairs, I went downstairs and they were up like 5-2, and then I was down there for maybe like 10 minutes and it was like 5-4, and I was like, I'm gonna go, but she is like you can't talk when the Leafs are playing, especially when they're like blowing a lead. It's like, don't be around. North 49's in the house. What's going on, amigo? Tomb,
My boy.
Tomb. Yeah, he was the guy that you were meeting, right? He was
we met up at Toronto too. Yeah, it was great meeting him. He's a
I didn't get the
guy.
pleasure to meet him, but I heard a lot of great things about you, man. You're a good guy, comic knowledge. Dick Fury. A lot of people not noticing the Gleason variant of first. Just seeing
Oh.
says the name in the yeah. Oh,
We
dude,
noticed.
I think we all knew.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it on last week's show when it came out.
Yep.
Daniel, Mike, what's going on? Serge, the comic vet's in the house. Got to meet him finally like 2 weeks ago at a show. I didn't have enough time to talk to him, so owe him a beer. He owes me a beer, but we definitely need to meet up. Mr. Empire Comics, what's up, newbie? What's up, fellas? What's up, chat? Empire, when you coming back on, man? I need to know. I need to know. Or as BC likes to say, dale. That's always what you say. Dale. All right, gentlemen, were you guys ready to start the show?
Let's go, baby.
Ready to rock.
Let's do it. All right. Hopefully your knowledge of comics, boys, for the last month is up there. I hope you guys didn't forget about any of these books. Again, some of them, might be hot and they're not on the list. These are just the ones that, automatically made everybody go crazy, whether it be from movie, new comic book day, rumors, things like that, casting, whatever the case may be. So there's a mix of everything. It's not necessarily just new books. And if anybody's trying to get a hold of me, my phone is literally like 4 feet away from me charging. So I can't reach it. So if people are sending me photos or things, I'm sorry, I'm not there. Well, because sometimes people are like, dude, I sent you this while you were talking about it. So like, I don't want to be rude. So
yeah, I get it.
Don't think I'm like ignoring it. It's just like 4 feet away. So, all right. The Fuego of March, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get going. Let's do this because Mr. Rocksteady is the special guest. All right, guys. First book on the list, hottest comics, Black Panther #4. Now, remember, everybody went crazy because they thought that he was going to show up in this book as Black Panther. There is no first appearance. Everybody was going crazy. Wednesday morning, this book was reaching $30 to $45. By the end of that night, it did not do anything. The 1 in 25 for this on day of release was 175 US. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Newbie, are you sure? Because you usually talk in Canadian. Yes, I made it my... What's the thing? I went out of my way to make sure I got it in US. So it was 175 US on release day. Yeah. Now the 1 in 25 is $40 US. Rocksteady, did you go big? Did you do anything with this? What are your thoughts on Black Panther #4?
So Marvel was pretty clear on this one that Tosin wasn't going to be in this.
People don't read, man. People don't read.
But what I think it is it was a FOMO grab, right? So people saw what #3 was going for, and it was blowing their minds. And you look at comparison, and that's it. People who don't read and they see it and they jump on it. They buy and they buy, and then more turn up, and yeah, kind of a dud.
Yeah, dude. I got into many arguments over this particular cover as well because people kept saying, "Nah, dude, this is Tosin in the black, in the Black Panther suit and stuff like that." And it's just JOMO, 100%. I am. So I only got one copy, and I know everybody was going ballistic for this cover. And like you said, the price that this reached, especially the 1 in 25, I didn't get it. I really didn't understand what took place. The fact that it hit, you said it's 175 US. It hit
US. Of release.
Yeah. Okay. I was seeing them like 150 Canadian. So 175 US. Yo, that could buy us a Grail here.
Yeah. If Mel V's watching, he always likes to make fun of the Canadian money. Or I'll be like, dude, that was like $40 Canadian. He's like, all right, so like,
it was 10 cents
American. Like, what? What is that? But the big thing too was, issue 3, like you said, right? It was big, Tosin, and we still have it to this day, right? Like a 9.8 just sold for 1,500 US, which is like crazy
for a new book.
For a new book. Also, I just saw big shout outs to Mel V's, my guy, but he actually just got back a few from CGC, and he posted on Instagram. They are actually now. It actually has it as first appearance of Tosin. So there was a few copies that came out like a few weeks ago that did not have that on the solicitation, and now it does. So
I wonder if that'll make a difference in the price of the book.
It's going to be interesting. The rule of thumb usually lately anyway is like don't send your book too soon to CGC, right? I think that's what a lot of us do. We kind of just wait a bit. But we'll see. I mean,
It's a
guys.
fine balance. If you're first to market with it, you're going to get the big bucks too,
Oh,
right?
100%, 100%. But guys, you know, February had Black Panther 3, March had Black Panther 4. I guarantee you right now, April's hottest comics are going to have Black Panther 5. Why? There's no 1 in 25, there's no ratios, and it's the homage to Ultimate Fallout 4. It's just good. I think it's just going to be one of those books that people are just going to want, especially trying to tie in with like Tosin and Miles and this and that. I think it's going to be nuts next month. So we'll see.
Yeah, but it's already up there. You know what I mean? People ordered heavily. People are specking on it, second appearance. So yeah, no, 100%.
I will say with this one, if you did get it at ratio, you're still sitting at 40 US.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So not the worst.
What the fuck, newbie? Too soon, like over a year to get booked. Well, people fast track, right? So I know Mel V fast tracked. I know I'm fast tracking my next shipment, which I should be sending off in like a week to maybe 2 weeks. I'm just not gonna wait anymore. It's not worth it. So
I kind of feel like they want us all to just fast track. It's like their way of saying, "Hey, we got you."
yeah, and then they'll come out with like a ultra fast track option, and it's like, well, wait, what's that? And then
we're getting rid of our standard.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, yo, that's like a week, and you're like, wait, what? So,
and then they'll have a Titan fast track.
All right, let's go into the next book, guys. And the next book, obviously, not on a big scale, but with the Batman movie coming, Tim Drake did get some love, some respect. This book was kind of spiking for a week. You guys know that I came across like a long box of it, and the long box is gone. Like literally, people were just going nuts that week that the Batman came out. Forever, like $1, $2 books. I posted pictures from Toronto Comic Con, where people were selling this book for $50 raw, which is insane to me. 9.6s are selling anywhere between 120 and 140 Canadian, and 9.8s, surprisingly, it's a $200 book, which honestly, that's pretty good if you can find this book for like $1 and actually turn it into a 9.8. That's pretty good. But Tim Drake, I mean, the argument for Robin and which one and this and that, I mean, it's up in the air for a lot of people, but nevertheless, it is the first appearance, very sought after, and especially with the movie. What are your thoughts, Rocksteady?
First appearance, but it's a heavy produced book, right? There's going to be a lot out there.
Yeah.
So I can see a big difference between a 9.8 and a raw copy. So I can see why they're going for 200. First appearance, I don't know if you can go wrong for 200 really, but it's a low risk buy-in, I guess. I think is why people were going for it, covering bases.
There's no way in hell I would spend this money on this book. Dude, this is still a $5 book anywhere and everywhere. I see it everywhere. Literally, still. Newbie, you just said that you've come across long boxes. They're still out there. Guys, $5 maximum Canadian. I'm going on this one. I do see them often. Grab them when you can. I mean, if it's something that you want to stock up on. But if they are hitting $200, man, yo, fast track that shit at $5. Fast track it. Go make your money. I would never.
So every one that I found has a tick. It's in great shape. All the ones I have are in really good shape, except there's like a tick right at the waist. Like if you go above the belt, right there's always a tick in the ones that I find. But I know a few people who have bought from me who are sending them off to CGC. The one guy bought like 10 off me, and he's like, I'm sending them all to CGC. I don't know if he's just a big fan, but yeah, this book forever is a long bin book, and it just surprises me, man, that people would spend $50 raw on this book. Like
you can still get it off eBay raw for $5. Like
I don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't. One guy bought 50 copies off me.
Cool. What, you had 50 copies?
Dude, I had 2 long boxes.
Jesus.
Yeah, 50 copies. You know how, man, it was crazy. But first appearance, you never know. So we'll see. And also, I always hated this book, the cover. I thought there was way too much going on. And the nun, it always threw me off. I don't know why. I don't know. All right, let's go back to some Black Panther, but again, a hot book in March. So we had Black Panther 3, the second print. This cover, fucking amazing. The only problem, super overprinted, right? Everybody wanted it. Everybody knew about it. Everybody was asking for it. Second print, large print run, sweet cover. Release day was selling for $20 Canadian. First appearance of Tosin, but again, it's more so the fact that the cover is dope, and this is first cover appearance as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I think this is the best cover of his first appearances, in my opinion. Like, I really dig this one. And a lot of these were damaged. So I ordered 3 off an online retailer and legit sent pictures like damaged, like not worth it. So I think that kind of balances the over printing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard any news on a 3rd or 4th printing yet. Have you guys?
No. Which I'm surprised, right?
Exactly. Marvel's usually all over that stuff. So again, if there's only going to be 2 printings, maybe there's more of an upside to it, but you never know.
Oh shit, BC. Sorry, before I cut you off, I didn't realize that I had somebody backstage. So I apologize. Like I said, I had my phone charging like 4 feet away from me, so I wasn't near my phone. But I apologize, guys. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Hyper.
Hypin' Poodle.
What's up?
What's going on, man? Sorry, I didn't see you. How long were you waiting?
I mean, since the beginning of the show.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just
No way.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you're a liar, man. Fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
listen, you know, well, it's been a while. It's been a few weeks, so happy to be back and haven't met Rocksteady. So listen, as a TMNT fan, I definitely dig the name.
So, nice to meet you, brother.
Although I'm curious, why Rocksteady? Was it between Bebop and Rocksteady? Like, what's the...
if I had a choice between a rhino and a pig, rhino 10 times out of 10.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah.
Very fair point. Well, Hype, welcome, man. BC was just about to give his input on Black Panther 3 second print. So I just want to be polite. BC, take it away.
First off, Hype, you had all this time in the world to put on your suit. Where is it? But but okay, quickly on this. Again, another book where I had to argue with many people because people were specking on first cover appearance for Toasted, and they're like, "No, man, it's going to be issue 4." No, yeah, the variant that you put up.
Yep.
No, it was issue 1. It was issue 2. It was issue. Everybody was arguing. I don't remember what the actual issues were that people were pointing out, but I do remember issue 4, the variant that you put up. People were saying that was going to be the first. This is the first cover appearance. At least it's out there. I do think it's the nicest.
Yeah.
And it's one that I think is going to have long-term hold value if this character takes off the way everyone is speculating he will. So on that aspect, I do agree this is a long-term hold. I would have not been paying the prices people paid out the gate. If you were speculating prior and you ordered this way in advance, you got him at cover. But I mean, spending 15 to 20 Canadian come release day.
Yeah.
This is a character that if it does take off, though, that $15-20 will pay off. You know?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But for myself, and I've said it many times, especially on your show, that like paying out the gate on new comic book day like that, it still burns me. And it's something that I refuse to cave into. So that's me being.
As long as that's the only thing that's burning you.
Yeah. I swear to God. But yeah, man, like I said, long-term hold. This is one I would hold just in case, simply because there is tons of potential behind this character. I do think Marvel has much intentions with him as well. He seems to be a fan favorite out the gate too, right?
Yeah.
And we have not much story behind him, like at all.
No, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hyper, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out to Moonlit Comics. Prior to the show, I was actually on her show where we did the review of Moon Knight episode 1. So
nice.
Catch on the rewind if you missed it. Yeah. Okay. Listen, what's funny about this issue is I know that in the slide it shows $15 to $20. I kid you not, I still was finding this, and I think even right now I could probably still find this at cover price at certain sites.
Wow.
Yeah. So the fact that you're telling me that people were spending $15 to $20, that just tells me they probably weren't looking hard enough, because
Yep.
it wasn't just one site. It was multiple sites that I was able to find. Like, I only got 2 copies for myself because like I didn't want to go too crazy, but if I wanted to, I definitely could have got more at cover price. So, and the thing
Clearly,
is,
I have not been looking hard enough. Then I ordered 5,
but
and
how
I
much
only
did you
got
pay?
4. But on cover, like I ordered
Cover,
premium,
okay, all right, yeah.
FOC, yeah. So I was fine. I ordered 5. I got 4 only, but it is what it is. I got to find myself at least one more, but I'm not willing to pay like $40. I think it is.
You don't have to. You don't have to, trust me.
Dude, it's funny you say that though, because I agree with Hyper, man. They're still available, like he said, online. I literally saw one of my LCS.
Don't say the site. Don't say the site. Let me.
I'm not, but I saw. I saw one of my LCSs post their new comic book day stuff for the week, for tomorrow, right? Literally a few hours ago, and I saw on the shelf it was still there. So
for cover.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are going there tomorrow, so pick me one up, please.
I haven't been to an LCS in actually a few weeks, and that's just part of self-control on my part.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though?
You went to Popeyes though.
You know, and this is a good question asked, and I think it's been asked ever since, you know, his first appearance actually did come, right? But like, are you guys afraid? Like, if you sold all your copies, but like, do you have maybe a fear that like, oh shit, this actually could be the book? Like, you know how we always talk about like, hey man, I want to be there on the shelf. I want to be the guy taking it off the shelf, and then like years down the road, I got a $10,000 book or I got a $5,000 book, right? Like, we always dream about that, right? I know at least I do, where I'm like, oh, if I get two copies, 3 copies or something, like one of them hopefully turns into something big. But like, was this it? Was this the book? Like,
well, see, okay. The thing is, like, I'm maybe a few years ago, I would have probably stocked up on a lot more of these kind of books. But I'm just kind of at a point in my collecting where, at most, I would probably buy a 3rd copy if I really felt that. It's just that, you know, there's been spec that kind of like the boat passed me by, and I'm good with it. And then there's some specs that, you know, I was able to get lucky on. So I'm kind of at a point where I look at it as it's a wash. If you don't catch this one, you're gonna probably get a W on another book. So that's why that's the only reason why I grabbed 2 copies of this book. I'm kind of at the point where, like I mentioned, I'm trying to trim down the collection. So even getting 2 copies of a book, I'm kind of hesitant on. So
but again, this is a character, like we were saying, long-term possibilities. We haven't even seen any story behind him. There's really tons of room for growth. I do recommend, if you can find them at cover, or if you have some, hang on, man. Don't panic.
It's never going to be worth less than cover.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless there's a certain Venom book you want to talk about.
Stop it! I'm still trying to sell those off.
But that one was free to begin with.
I do want to play devil's advocate here for April. What is it? Next week? So April 12th, I think it is. Right?
Yes.
Black Panther 5.
Yeah.
Where do you think that book ends up next week, price wise?
I hope to God it doesn't surpass cover. I think it would be ridiculous. It's a second appearance. Like, read the book. We don't even know what's going to take place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rocksteady, what do you think, man?
There's going to be a lot listed on eBay, so I think it's going to be a lot of competition. I think double cover would probably be the highest. I think it'll go.
Somebody might get lucky and get like $25. Like, it just happens. There's always one guy
there's
that
outliers.
Yeah. Fuck. I think I got 5 copies thinking that it was going to be like $100 book.
I got 5 too.
Again,
so.
Jeez, man. Yeah, I'm past that point.
Well, I mean, homage to, you know, Ultimate Fallout 4. There's no ratios for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it is a nice homage to you know, UF4, but the thing is, so other than that, that's really the only thing going for it. I mean, like you said, it is a second appearance, right? So unless something significant, something happens in the guts of the book that makes it you know, a noteworthy issue, I'm not sure. But you know what, if anything, it would be a case where it might spike initially because people haven't read the issue. It's same thing like with what happened with issue number 4. right out the gate, that book was like you couldn't find it in any LCS, and even that 1 in 25 was going for like $150. Once people actually read the book,
Yep.
prices started to come down pretty
I'm gonna
fast.
tell you right now, I'm almost tempted because I'm in the process right now in the next like 10 to 14 days to send some books to CGC. I'm almost tempted to send one just because you never know.
For Ultimate Fallout. Sorry.
No, for Black Panther 5. I'm tempted.
Fucking set it aside and don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the thing is, because here's the thing, like it's almost like you're gonna spend like because we're in Canada, so it's gonna cost you an
Are
average.
we?
Like,
I didn't know that.
actually, I think we're all in Canada. Yeah, because Rocksteady is Canadian also. That's true.
Well, you
We're
guys are in
gonna
Quebec. That's like not really
They're
being
Canada for now.
Yeah, like for now. Right?
Speaking of which, oh,
Don't. I'm furious.
does he know about? Movie knows about it, right?
If it's what I think,
Yeah.
Yes, he knows. Anyways.
Yeah, but
we'll tell Rocksteady after because Rocksteady is going to be on Whatnot pretty soon. So
yeah, just so that we don't leave the audience in a complete dust. Like me and BC, basically, we're barred from going to Whatnot because our province. Yeah, because our French Canadian province requires Whatnot to be bilingual as an app. So because of that, the lawyers at Whatnot hit us up saying, sorry, not the lawyers, but they contacted the lawyers saying that they can't do business in our province, Quebec. Me and BC, for now. So me and BC are left holding our bags and boards in the cold.
Yeah.
Basically, okay. So look, going back to your proposition of slabbing issue 5. I would say, look, if I were you, I would personally just keep it in a bag and board because, again, if it becomes just a filler issue in terms of what's actually in the story, then you're spending $50 on grading a book that may not be worth it. Because look, I made the same mistake with some of my Venom books where I slabbed it, and then basically now I can't even sell it for like the graded price.
Hold on, Hyper. Would you like me to get you my 9/8 Thor number 5? Right?
You know what, Thor 5, I have some hope for because Cates did mention that Black Winter will be coming back. I do feel that book.
Oh my god, you've been saying that for like a year and a half though.
It's not me, but Cates is the one that's been saying that Black Winter is coming back. So I'll wait and see. But I'm holding.
Listen, we've got to ban Donny Cates from, like, we can't talk about Donny Cates on the show. He's let me down too many times, man. So
I still have some Donny Cates books to unload, so I have to still talk about him.
All right. Well, we got to talk about the next book that made the hottest list in March. But we got Moon Knight #1, and rightfully so. What is Spectales?
I love it. I love what he wrote.
Newbie, read as yourself. Yo, I'm Newbie, and the two things I love most are Spectales podcast and Captain America's butt.
Yeah, that was worth every penny.
Yeah, for $5 you have to read it.
Yo, big shout outs to the Spectales. That better be Jake. I don't know if Jesus would be talking to me like that because Jesus.
But you should read it out loud. I mean, that match is $5.
And two things I love most are Spectales podcast and Captain America's butt.
Say it with your chest.
Iron Man blows. No, he doesn't. But
yes, he does.
Somebody clip that.
Make sure everybody go check out Spectales podcast, man. They do a great show. Jake's been on the show a few times. Jesus has got to come back. Jake has got to come back too. We've got to do some new stuff. So hopefully in the near future, Jake joins us. Jesus joins us. But guys, make sure you guys go check them out. I mean, they've broken so much news. They've been on CBR.com with some of the stuff they've done. So please do yourself a favor. Make sure you guys go check out Spectales podcast and make sure you guys go check out, Jesus and Jake's stuff individually. All right.
Yeah. And they have new episodes every Wednesday, right?
Yep.
So keep an eye on tomorrow, man.
Yeah. Speaking of new episodes on Wednesday,
Moon
Knight 1 obviously was going to be a hot book. This one exploded. Now I get people were like, okay, Werewolf by Night, 32. It's jumped, but I mean, let's face it, in high grades, that book was already $7,000 to $10,000. It's, not a book everybody can afford. Everyone's got different situations. We technically still are in a pandemic, so things like that. This one was the cheaper alternative, but this one spiked really fast, really, expected. It's not like this went, under the radar. This really was expected for this month. Rocksteady, I don't know how many copies you have or even if you own it, but definitely a good book to still own.
I'm think I'm 4 issues away from that entire run. But
Oh.
one of the most common Moon Knight books you come across is this Moon Knight #1.
Yeah.
So that's my concern with it. However, the issues before it are pretty scarce. Like even that Spotlight 28, and obviously Werewolf by Night 32. But I think it's a solid book. I think it's gonna definitely drop after the show, regardless of how good the show is.
Yeah.
I've heard good things, even though Newbie only gave it a 3 out of 10.
I give it my worst rating ever. 8
Oh, wow.
thumbs up.
Really, 3? Wow, that's harsh.
Yeah, it was pretty harsh.
You gave episode 1 a 3?
Yeah.
Bro.
Out of 3, right?
Out of 10.
Holy
Out of
cow.
10?
Yeah.
It's not even out of 5?
My oh my.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully tomorrow, that's going to be different. I expect it. But again, I mean, look back at a lot of the episodes from the shows, guys, and I'm not trying to, take your time away from what you got to say about this book. But like, I've always given the first episode kind of like, like look at WandaVision, Loki's wasn't even that good either. So we'll see.
What?
What's wrong with this man?
Are you serious? WandaVision was terrible.
No, okay, WandaVision, okay, I'll give you that. But
Loki was great.
I thought
Winter
Loki-
Soldier? Oh my
I
god.
thought Loki was the inverse. I thought Loki, it kind of went downhill in the middle episodes, and I thought the
Yes.
first episode was actually off to a good start.
Yeah.
Listen, I've made my bed. I'm okay with it. Okay. It's the first episode. The show's gotten better. Like Face, I remember Face was like, dude, what do you like? What do you mean WandaVision is terrible? And then I was like, yeah. And then it got better. Like that's how it how it is, man. I don't know. Maybe my expectations are high. I don't know. Maybe I have a certain standard. I don't know.
I think it leaves everybody a little bit confused, like asking a lot of questions. So if you're not okay with that, if you need answers and you can't wait a week, I could see it being like
Okay, my biggest thing with the Moon Knight thing was the fact that like it was like, okay, and I said this because like my wife is not familiar with Moon Knight, just like a lot of people. Like if you're not a fan of Marvel in the last little bit, you wouldn't know who Moon Knight. Like it's not a character that comes to mind like right away. Like if I said name me characters top 10, I guarantee you Moon Knight would not be a top 10. You wouldn't say that, right?
Mhm.
So my biggest thing was for me attracting people to come into this universe and watch this character, like my wife, because my wife supports it and she'll go and see movies and shows. I had advertised it to her as, oh, it's going to be dark, it's going to be twisted, and there's going to be so much. And she's like, okay, I'll give it a shot. But then you started watching it, and it's like, okay, well, it starts off like right away. There's no like origin. We don't know what's going on, and maybe they'll answer that down the road. But then like every like 3 minutes, it was like, and then he's
You
like,
are the wife.
and it's just like,
but then the issues are, or the next episodes are gonna fill those gaps as it goes. We're gonna see
I
Mark Spector,
100%, 100%. But it's like I said on Sunday, I felt like I was watching Lost, where like every 2-3 minutes I got an answer and then 25 more questions, and I hate when that happens.
But
Like,
Newbie, okay, but I think the show was designed in such a way like that, where you're not, where they're not going to give you, like Rocksteady said, they're not going to give you everything in that first episode, but just enough to make you want to see where those gaps get filled, which I think they will be.
Listen, the show by the end of it, I'll rate. You know what? Moving forward, I will give a rating.
No, dude, listen. It's your honest review. I was just kidding. Like I'm not going to knock you.
Every Sunday, I will give a review, and I guarantee you, it'll get better. At the end of this show, it will get better. But what I'm saying is, I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't like, oh my god, I want to watch that again. Like I just didn't have that. I was like, meh, it was okay.
I will say this though. I don't know if you'll give it a shot, but like, as other people have told me, like when you watch it for the second or even a third time, you do get a better appreciation. Because I agree, the first episode there was a lot of WTFs, but when I watched it for the second time, I did have a better appreciation for it.
Yep.
So,
and also, guys, maybe it's like Bernard's saying right now. I'm not drawn to Moon Knight. I could care less about Moon Knight. It
could happen, yeah.
Like it's just not a character that I've ever really cared about. So like maybe I'm just like meh. Lux is saying, I hear what Newbie's saying, but I agree. Was the design of the storytelling and the storyboarding of this show? It's for us to understand how Steven. Yeah, absolutely.
So just quickly breaking it down. Speaking of the episode, and then we'll speak about the book very quickly. The acting was incredible. You got an origin story that really gave you a perspective.
We got an origin story. Where did we get the origin story?
We got the origin of Steven.
Yes, exactly. Of Steven.
So then the next episode might be Mark.
Exactly. So the acting.
Oh, Steven.
I get it. But I'm just saying, like the build up to the end, where you got the perspective of, he's battling the whole Mark takeover and doesn't know what the fuck is going on. The split personality. I loved it. And then at the end, when Foley takes over, like, let me take over, dude. I loved it. You know what I mean? And I'm surprised because I thought someone, like Newbie would love it, especially with the appreciation of his favorite movie at the end where he says, I am Iron Man. You know what I mean?
for AOA. Okay, so to make, a template of judgment. Civil War.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, probably in my top 5. I don't want to say top 3, but definitely in my top 5.
Okay.
That is a 9 for me. That is a straight 9 for me. So I don't know if that like gives anybody.
What about in the show? It's maybe not a movie. Maybe the shows. Like
the shows.
Show?
Let's see. So we've had what? Loki, Hawkeye, WandaVision. Hawkeye, 6.
Well, you're harsh,
right? Right.
You have high expectations.
I don't know.
It's like a Simon Cowell of the MCU.
Listen,
bro.
And what Iron Man was in Hawkeye?
I was just gonna say, he's like fucking Gordon Ramsay.
This is absolutely dreadful.
He brings a buzzer to the theater.
This is a repulsive TV show.
Oh my god, man. We'll see tomorrow. Like I said, we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, Moon Knight has not really ever been a character that I've really cared about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Really quickly, I'll just throw it out because I do want to get everybody's opinion on this book. But okay, WandaVision, 8. Winter Soldier, 6.
WandaVision episode 1. Go.
Oh, that was like a 1, man. Oh god, that was terrible.
Okay, I can't fault him for that one. Even I was.
No, I'm just curious.
Like I still remember my reaction watching that, turning to my wife, being like,
"Como what?
What the fuck was that?" Right,
and that was like the introduction to like Marvel on Disney Plus too. There was a lot of hype around it too, and we got that first episode.
Yeah. I don't I don't like puppies. I'm sorry.
Guys. But back to this book. Fun story. I actually have 2 copies right now at CGC. They're there. I assume I'll get them back next year. But Hype and I actually got the books at the same shop, man. 50% off. We got them at around, what was it, $40?
Well, you did, but the guy that worked at the counter gave it accidentally 50 on top of 50 for me. So.
Well, sucks to be you, but yeah, man, I got them at $40.
No, dude, it sucks to be you because I got them at 25.
Hey, oh yeah, it sucks to be me then. Fuck. But even at 40, I was a happy camper, man. They look like candidates, man. I think one's gonna come back at 9.8, but it's crazy. It's crazy that
with Newbie it'll be at 6.0 though.
When are they supposed to come back? When are they supposed to come back?
I have no idea, man. I think it's probably gonna be back in a couple months. Who knows? Yeah. But back to this book, man. So it's his first solo series, man. And if look. The Moon Knight hype is there, so I understand why people chase this. You can't be chasing all his first appearance and shit like that. It's way out of reach. So, like you say on other books, right? When you can't get the first appearance, the second appearance, exactly? So it makes sense. Now hitting over $1,000, like in a 9.8, it's pretty crazy. Given that it's the first appearance of Bushmaster, like you know what I mean. But hey,
isn't his name Bushman?
No, it's Bushmaster.
No, it's Bushmaster over here.
Yeah.
I thought isn't it Raoul Bushman? It's Bushman, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Okay, I was like, because Bushmaster is from Luke Cage.
Okay, well, it's Bushmaster. It's Bushmaster in the Newbie verse.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, he's making an appearance on this issue also.
You want to do the Bushwhackers?
Yeah.
Listen, I got a story for you guys about this book. I bought a 9.4 slab already for $80 back in 2019.
That is a pretty good deal.
Yeah. And I ended up selling it for $400, $350, something like that. back in 20, like when it first like got announced. I mean, again, it's a 9.4, but whatever. One of my favorite movies is Captain America: Civil War, starring Captain America, the best Avenger. Dude, I like Civil War. Like the fact that one of Captain America's best things has Iron Man in it, and it's basically an Iron Man and Winter Soldier story. That tells you everything you need to know.
He just Matrix dodged that.
You did.
Yeah. Listen, as BC said, I actually have 3 copies of this book. I know Rocksteady. How many issues did you say that you're far away from
I'm
completing this
4
run?
away, but they're all later in the run. Like as the run went on, the production went way down. So I think there's quite a bit of the first ones. Try to find that last issue of this run.
So I'm kind of in the same boat because I was able to grab like this lot from Facebook Marketplace. So I have like issue 1 through 29, but I'm missing like from issue 30 to 37. I think I have 2 of the issues. So I think I'm like 6 issues away from completing this run. So
I feel like I can never be a movie critic ever again. Like ever. So yeah.
Well, I mean, no, it's not your fault.
But look at the content.
I just have higher standards, and you know what? I just saw like a few. I think Marvel said it like, oh, what did you expect? Like they're slow story. I love that. I really do. I don't expect anything. Like my buddy Chris, Vancouver Comic Junkie, shoutouts Chris. He was like, dude, how did you not like it? Did you expect like Galactus to show up with Gambit and then Wolverine? And then I was like, no, but like I kind of needed a bit more because like I don't know. This one though, I do. What I usually do when the show is over is I go back and watch it, right? Like consecutively, because it's different when you watch them consecutively. Tomorrow, when I watch episode 2, I'm actually going to watch episode 1 before I watch episode 2 again.
It's probably a good idea.
I think if you want a superhero show, like this isn't it. Like Disney doesn't have a ton of like horror stuff going on. So I think they're going to head in this direction.
Yeah, big time.
But don't expect Iron Man and Spider-Man to show up or even Daredevil. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to go a completely different direction, and you're going to get some cool stuff. Yeah.
All right, boys. Captain Carter. The argument continues. First solo series of the character. Some people will say first appearance because it's a different Captain Carter than the Exiles 3 and a different one from Avengers Forever and this and that. The 1 in 25 is the banger. That is the one to have. There's like a headshot variant. There's another variant with her, putting the shield up. 1 in 25s are selling on eBay for $100. Cover A is still selling anywhere between $7 and $10. Future MCU character. I mean, it's clear that they are kind of building this character to, keep going. But again, the confusion, right? There's a lot of people that will fight you on this. And I mean, it's a fun debate. It should be fun. But which, Captain Carter it is. I don't know. I like the book. I've got a few books. I just posted a video last week when I went to the shop. There's still a shelf of these. I think it could be one of those books that people just kind of overlook at the end. I don't know. Captain Carter, Rocksteady. What are your thoughts, man?
I don't know if it was overlooked as much as it was over-ordered. Because I still think everybody grabbed one, and there's still some on the shelves. And people saw that 1 in 25, and all they really knew about Captain Carter was What If.
Yeah.
So they wanted that 1 in 25. So they got some shops got 3 or 4, you know what I mean? So you have to get 100 copies of the open order stuff. And then now that's diluted even more about the confusion with all the other issues you said. And not even to bring up Exiles even, which is like completely different too, right? Yeah. So I've been talking to you and I'm like kind of trying to figure out who the antagonist is going to be in all this as opposed to Captain Carter. So will there be value in this? Yeah, but I wouldn't pay over cover.
No. Yeah, me neither.
The 1 in 25 is great though. I love it and I think it's going to be a classic, but I don't think it has much room on it.
No. Side note, Back in Time Comics is in the house. What's going on? Big things happening. Be prepared on Sunday, guys. Be prepared. I got something I want to show off. It includes Back in Time, Mr. Brandon over there. So stay tuned.
I just want to point it out that Back in Time Comics, man, I came across them on Facebook, I would say about a year ago, man, when they just moved to their new shop.
Yep.
And yeah, man, they got some good stuff, man.
Yeah, and he's a good dude, man. He's a solid
Yeah.
dude. He's a good time.
Yeah.
He was at the show last week when we were selling, and yeah, I met him, and yeah, man. Hopefully, friendship for a while or a long time.
For a while.
Well, I don't know, man. You know,
Forever, ever.
It's like the shittiest greeting card I've ever.
He brings a contract.
Friendship for a while.
Yeah. But
well, I don't know, man. Maybe you can get bored of me. I don't know. Like, he's a huge Star Wars guy, and I've told him, I'm like, dude, I don't like Star Wars. Like, he was like, okay, well, we need to talk about something different. So, but he's a dude. He's a solid dude. He's a fun guy. I went and had drinks with him the other night, and yeah, man, he's a solid dude. So hopefully it's a friendship for a long time. But my ratings on shows, he could be like, man, fuck this guy. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Yo, I've caught many of their lives, man. Back in the day where they were doing like fucking spinning the wheels and shit. But yeah.
And he's got his on Facebook. He actually does like his live shows and his auctions there. So
yep,
definitely. But there's some things happening. So be on the lookout this Sunday.
Okay. But okay, so we'll let you speak about that later. But yeah, man. Okay, so Rocksteady hit some good points, man, regarding this book, this character. It's a totally different character from what we got within Exiles. Now, Captain Carter is straight out of the What If, right? And I thought the 1 in 25 was the one to get. It seems to still be. Yeah. Some people in the chat are saying it's still available for $50 Canadian on eBay. I still think that's it's a fair price to be picking it up, especially if, there's a lot of rumors and speculation that there's a good possibility that she pops in, let's say, within, yes, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. People were speculating over the fact that he ends up going through an animated dimension that might include her. You know what I mean? There's been so many references already to her, but I do think Marvel does intend on putting some chips into this one. I at least I would too. I think there's tons of room with
What If 2, right? There was that leaked picture of her actually leading the team of the characters that are in it. She seems to be a focal point. So I mean, there's a lot of room to grow on the character, and it seems like the character that they want in.
If anyone's even reading the current Avengers Forever run, like now she's finally in. You know what I mean? Like she made her way over there, and you remember once upon a time we thought that she was going to be appearing there. She was actually on the cover of cover A, but that wasn't the case. But now she's made her way into that, and that's been a pretty cool story so far.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes.
I also have a little bit of concerns, like the What If version versus an MCU version. If she comes out too, like what do we go for, right?
Yeah.
So hold on a second. So basically, Steve Rogers in an Iron Man suit was the best part of that show. Okay. I'm just going to leave this on for a bit so I can clip this.
You can just take a screenshot. You don't have to leave it on for a
No.
bit.
No. I'm always going to remember that. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's pretty good. All right, guys.
Well, I didn't even get my point. What the hell?
Oh,
Get back. I don't really have much to say about this character, though. It's not really a character that I'm really into.
So sorry, Hype.
But still, it's out of principle. I still got to say that part at least. But yeah, look, as I mentioned before, I'm kind of at a point where if it's a character I'm not feeling, I'm just gonna let that boat pass by. Yeah. Look, if this book takes off, it takes off. I'm okay with it. But it's just one of those things that I'm just going off my gut at this point. And like I said, this character I wasn't really resonating with, so I kind of like missed it completely. Yeah. So yeah, and just a quick question, Ruby.
Yes.
And I think Lux brought this up. Your friendship with Back in Time Comics, out of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
A 9.5.
Damn.
Okay.
9.5.
Pretty high.
That's a good friendship.
So Hype, you better hope he's giving us 10s, man. After all this time.
After this episode, we're probably in the 4s.
Yeah.
Especially after the Bushmaster.
You'll get restored labels, maybe.
All right, guys. The next book on the list, and it's a DC book. So all those people saying, "Newbie, you don't like DC." False. I do love DC. I love DC. We got Justice League of America / Avengers 1.
Even DC's laughing at that statement.
print run of 7,000. People went nuts for this. This was a $200 book. Like for a while, right off the gate, it reached 300 Canadian. Shops didn't really receive all their orders. And even at shows, Rocksteady, we saw it at the show when we went to Toronto the week later.
It
And
was like $300 or something.
Yep.
$300. It's crazy. I'm interested to see where this book is now because I would expect it's literally like 50.
I'll check.
100?
I'll check. Hold up.
Maybe I don't know, but I didn't fall for the FOMO. I didn't really know about it anyway. If I would have watched the Comic Kingpin's FOC show, I probably would have known about it, but I
Right.
didn't.
Right.
So yeah, but this was definitely one of the hottest books that people went crazy for, especially when you throw in that 7,000 print run, 4 digits there. People just went nuts. Rocksteady, did you get any? I think I asked you at the show, but did you get one?
No, I don't know how I feel about this book. I think the comics are like the cooler play, if you ask me. I do like, because all the proceeds went to the Hero Initiative, right?
Oh, they should. They
But
should.
not on the secondary market, which
Yep.
kind of burns me. I wish they came out with this and sold it for $300 and made people buy it at that price.
Yeah. I want to say I agree with you. And like Newbie said, had you watched the Comic Kingpin show, you would have known about it. But boy, oh boy, BC got himself one. He did get himself one.
Yeah.
Why did you sell it?
Inkjet printers work wonders these days.
Yeah, they do. No, it's the actual book. Don't fucking start. But
Wait a minute, hold on. Can you put that up? How thick is that?
it's fucking dude. It's got all 4 issues.
Because it's all 4 collected issues, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but so just to answer you, and it's gonna touch base on what Rocksteady just said. Yes, unfortunately, the secondary market is not donating. Right, they're pocketing and going to buy whatever the fuck they want. Now, $300 Canadian is what it seems to be on average. So we'll say anywhere between 270 to 300. But like I said, Rocksteady brought it up. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I will not sell this. This is for the PC, and I think it was a great initiative. And I just think it's shitty to really sell on the secondary market when you look at, you know, what the whole purpose was behind the book. So that's my honest opinion. This is one that's going to stay with the PC, and it will not move. It's staying with me. George Perez is a gem, and he even, through everything he's been going through, tried to give some time to his fans, and no way in hell I'm selling this.
Yeah.
And I know his handle on Canada's comic Facebook group, so I don't know if he's selling it or not.
Yes, you do.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, listen, you know, aside from the secondary market, I know that some shops were actually quote unquote selling it at market price. So there was actually some shops, because you know, obviously 7,000 print, a lot of the shops were allocated. So I know that a couple of them right out the gate were selling it for like 200 Canadian or so. Now the thing is, I'm okay with that only if that whole $200 proceed is actually going to, you know, George Perez's foundation.
But a lot of shops did do that. They did upsell it.
You know what? If that's the case, then I'm all for it, because, like I said, it's going for the rightful cause.
Yeah.
But yeah, this book was definitely hard to come by. But kudos to those people that were able to, like, the shops end up honoring the actual. What was the MSRP on this? $30?
Yeah. So out the gate, I think it was about $40 Canadian. I'll tell you right now on the book. Yeah, it's $39 Canadian. So.
Yeah. So for the shops that, you know, honored the MSRP, you know, kudos to them. Like I said, if they end up pricing it to the market, maybe, because look, shops always get flack for doing this, but in this case, I don't mind them doing it because it also curbs people from possibly flipping the book.
Yep.
So in this situation, I'm not completely against the shop actually upselling the book, because, like I said, at the end of the day, the proceeds should be going to that foundation. So
100%. And like I said, man, there was a lot of shops. I know many shops, even Back in Time Comics is saying in the chat himself that a lot of his friends sold. dude, I saw a lot of shops literally say, guys, we're putting it up for auction. So they had it auctioned out the gate, and they said whatever this book sells for, it is going to be donated. So they let's say sold for $200, $300. They showed us the receipts. You saw them posted, guys. Here, look, we made the donation. Here's the e-transfer or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was done. And those shops, kudos to them, man. And like I said, selling this on the secondary market, like Marvell said, I would feel absolutely dirty for making any kind of profit off of this. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, unless I mean, like what Back in Time said, that some of his friends actually ended up selling it, but the proceeds still went to. So there are people that might do it for that reason as well. So we never know what a seller's intentions are.
Yep.
What the fuck? Ooh, okay.
Is that your I'm scared voice?
Yeah,
I
kind of.
think so.
All right. Next book on the list. And again, newbie, you don't like DC. I just put 2 in a row. What do you expect from me? What do you want from me?
Well, the last one had Avengers in it too.
We got Catwoman number 41, the Slomenka. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's one person that's never going to be on the show.
That and Bushmaster.
Yeah, I don't know which Scandinavian artists were that picked this. What is this? What did you call her?
Slomenka.
Does she play for the
or
which
N.
NHL team is she playing for?
Okay, why don't you just tell me how you pronounce it? I don't like
Dave Slomenko.
Slomenka. All right, okay, there we go. That's what you gotta do. It's not a name that I often say. So
there's not even an L to be found in the name. Where did this phantom L come from?
You can't come on the show late and then just throw all this stuff out.
Yeah, I get that. What do you give the pronunciation on that?
I'm just wondering where this. Please, Lord, find this L for me.
Okay, let's go.
Obviously, I think it was number 40 or 39. I can't remember, but that was the one that everybody paid attention to her. It was the one with the diamonds, and then this one was the second one. But obviously, you look at this. I mean, it's a sexy cover. It's beautiful. It's black. It's going to be a tough 9.8. 9.8, super, super hard in this one. I'm interested to see what they go for. I'd probably buy one like down the road. I would. Currently selling for 50 to 65. On the day of release, it was selling for 80. But let's be honest, guys. We've all talked about this, and you guys have heard me talk about it. I believe she's up and coming for sure. A lot of her art is just unreal. Yeah. Again, I'm interested to see where this goes, but the 1 in 25 made it on the hot list, number 41.
There's not many people ordering 25 issues of DC right now. So all the 1 in 25s compared to, say, Marvel are going to be way less produced. The other one with the diamonds, they did a second print of.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be less desire for that one. Whereas this one, they didn't do a second print of, or at least not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty hot book. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's a bad buy at all. I think it's a pretty good future bring back. Yeah.
So with that diamond one that she did, was that kind of like her first, like that was her coming out party, right? Like that was the book.
I believe so. I think people have gone back and found really great covers that were her, but I think that was the coming out party.
Yeah. Okay.
What kind of hurt that was that the second print was basically just a trade dress version of that. So
imagine paying up for the 1 in 25 and then the second print it all like rough, right?
Yeah, but
some people prefer the second print because they actually prefer the trade dress actually.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is that like 39, I think, burned so many people, right? The one with the diamond. So people were paying prime for that cover, and then
I think it was like 250 Canadian.
Yeah, man, it hit some high numbers, but then they came out with the second print, and it was like, oh well, there that goes. You know what I mean? So I did not pick up the 1 in 25. Lucky enough, picked up the second print at cover, but there's no way. Once I saw the prices for 41, in my head, it's like, oh well. We'll probably get a second print announced shortly after, which I don't think they did. But again, beautiful art, incredible cover. I just wouldn't be spending this money on it. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we've seen this case with like a lot of these hot artists like Rose Besh and Peach Momoko, and now, this new up and coming artist from Russia, Igor Slomenko. I'm sorry.
Wow, man. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna try
Take
to
a good look around, you hype, because this could be the last time you're on.
I'm trying to gather my thoughts. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I'm focused. No, I'm not. Sorry.
Get it together, man. Get it together.
Hold on. Okay. Listen, these covers tend to lose steam because usually people go after their first printing of a publication. Like that was her first DC publication.
Yeah.
The 1 in 25 that was from issue. Was it issue 39? That was her first cover.
Yeah, I believe so because I know about that one.
The chat's not helping, by the way.
Igor. Yeah, no, hype. I do believe so. I'm not.
Yeah. So the thing is, look, if you're a fan of her work, that's one thing. But if you're looking to basically collect these books with the hope of making, I guess, a return on them, basically your returns are going to be diminished. Obviously, if you weren't like one of the first people to grab her, early cover art, chances are these books will probably cool off and probably just kind of settle closer to ratio, I would assume.
Yeah.
Really quickly, guys. What Rocksteady? What's your LCS?
We have issues. Yeah,
We
best
have
shop
issues?
in town. Yeah.
We have a shop around here that's called We Have Issues too. So.
Well.
Peach Slomenko.
And don't forget, she also did 40 as well. So she did 39 diamonds. She also did 40.
Yeah.
And then this one as well.
Yeah.
And there was a Vampirella cover too.
There was. Yep. All right, let's get off this because Igor Slomenko is
stole the show.
He's here to stay, man.
He's a centerman for the Olympics team.
Oh, man. All right. ASM, finally get an ASM book on the list, but ASM 265, first appearance of Silver Stable. It spiked like crazy in the last like 7 to 10 days. Like if you go and look, I mean, it kind of was out there and people were going nuts. I personally don't understand why it spiked, and maybe somebody could tell me. I have no idea. This to me, perfect example. This was a $5 to $10 book. Every day, all day, twice on Sunday. People were just, oh yeah, take it, have it. But yeah, raw copies now are selling anywhere between 40 and 80 Canadian. 9.8s are selling anywhere between 450. Hype BC. We had Mr. Key Issues. Basically, that one day, I think it was on a weekend or something. He was like, "When did this go up?" And he was just like surprised, right? So like, I think it kind of for some people, it kind of surprise them, but like, what are your thoughts? Rocksteady ASM 265.
So the real reason I think this is popping is because people are getting priced out of Black Cat, and then people are going for the next best thing. Like that's my opinion, and they're like, oh, what could be next? What could become the next Black Cat? And they're quick to move on as soon as it reaches some potential. What I do really like about this book is there's a newsstand, there's a Canadian newsstand, like a CPV. There's also a second printing of this one, I believe, with the silver background. And the second printings don't get enough love from this era, and they're way less produced than the first printings. Nobody cared about them, and yeah. But I don't think this is a bad play. Like, a pretty big deal in the Spider-Man world for, what are they going for, $40 for a raw?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the worst.
No. Big shout outs to AOA. Again, a super chat, man. Let's read it. It's probably going to be very informative. Howard Stark is the genius and inventor of the Hydra Stomper. Tony stands on the shoulders of a real hero named Howard.
There you go.
So the reason why this actually took off is because there was a lot of talk of Silver Sable being also casted and appearing within the Kraven movie. So
North 49 is saying Kraven. Just Cruz. Big shout outs, man.
Yeah.
He's saying Madam Web.
I don't think so, man. I really think that was the whole Kraven stuff, and hold on, Darth Menace 666 is saying the key collector notification sent people off, and that's really what sent it spiking, man. So that being said, oh shit, I think they're coming for me again, guys. But I'm kidding. But yeah, man, Rocksteady, I agree 100%. I actually have the second print with the silver background.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually like it much better. I find it pops more, right? Like I
And
have
a tougher 9.8.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think mine's a 9.8, but I would say it's at least a 9.0. And it's one that I'm still contemplating sending in. But yeah, so it seems that the reason
Where
why
do you live?
So
No.
I live right on the river, but the big bridge that crosses.
Oh, the siren's
river
coming
is
from
right
your
next to
place.
my
Oh, that's
place.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was BC. I was like, dude, where?
Bro, I'm in my fucking basement in a hole. Literally. But Hype's laughing because he's been here.
No, I'm not laughing because of your dwelling place. It's just the way you described it is funny. That's all. I never
But,
laugh at a man's house.
Yeah, but yeah, so the whole thing with Craven and stuff like that is pretty much what set this off. Now, regardless of the fact, I think this is a great book to own in your PC, especially if you're collecting ASM. Like, this is one that I was happy to pay $20 for when I got it. You know what I mean? So now it's picked up. I hope it comes back down. Guys, I don't have much faith with Sony, whether it be Madam Web, whether it be Craven the Hunter. I really don't care. I don't have faith. I really don't. And I think this book right now is sitting where I think it should have been, man. Because, you know, Silver Sable is okay as a character, but like $40 Canadian is fair. I think once you start going 100, 200, like that's just a bit much. You're saying 9.8s are going for 450.
Which is this is what and it doesn't upset me, but it's just like, you know, one of those where you're just like,
yeah,
this was a forever $1 to $5 book forever, right? And we all have books, so like that's just why I can't buy this for $450. Because
I'll be honest, Newbie, I haven't seen this book within $1 to $5 ever. I've always seen it within the $10 to $20 range.
Yeah,
always.
really.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've always thought this one and the first appearance of Puma were always like way, way, way undervalued, but people always obviously chase it. I mean, it is ASM, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Listen, I actually Rocksteady brought up a good point. I wasn't even thinking about the fact about this book possibly, you know, having a bit more of an uptick because people might be getting priced out of the Black Cat first appearance. Because, you know, there's a lot of like femme fatale in the whole ASM run, right? So Silver Sable is like one of the least talked about ones in that gallery. So
I love it.
Yeah, I mean that could explain, but yeah, I'm with BC and Nubia on this one where like when you see a book priced at a certain point, it's hard for you to pay anything above that. And I see like this is one of those things that I would classify as a minor key. I never it's the same way like how that Web of Spider-Man one, although it's a very iconic cover of him in the black suit.
Yeah.
That book for the longest time was also like a $10, $20 book, and only recently it's hitting like 50 to 100 like in near mid. So
yeah,
it's just like when you've been around these books for a while, you just kind of it's like the same way I'm sure like some of these collectors that have seen some of the Bronze Age books taking off like in triple digits. That's not their reality like for a while. So like in our case, when we see these books, you know, it's a bit of it's kind of jarring when you see these new price points.
Yeah, man.
The Omega Red effect.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Character will never show up now.
But has that book? That book is still what $30-$40, right? That X-Men.
Yeah, dude, it's still up there, man.
Oh,
I still
1.5 million of them.
Yeah, and I still see people putting up CGCs for fucking ridiculous prices.
That's insane, yeah, because there's no real substance behind his actual appearance. I'm surprised that book still sustains its value.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Oh,
BC,
shit.
you could have something more to say than us. Me, I don't really care about this book. I don't. But the trailer obviously got released the first week of March, if not the second week of March. First appearance. 9/8 selling for 1,000 raw copies, hit anywhere between 350 and 550 Canadian. Didn't really hit though, right? I mean, we've all made comments about the show. It kind of has that Scott Pilgrim vibe. It's definitely targeted for a younger audience, I would think. I'm gonna check it out anyway, but like you can really tell it's gonna stand out. It's gonna be different. It's generated for that next generation 100%. Big shout outs to the main character though, because she's from Mississauga in the GTA. So Canadians doing it big in Marvel. Rocksteady, what do you think, man? We had a few conversations about this, about the character in general.
I like Miss Marvel as a long-term play. Where they're going, like if they're gonna bring in the young Nova, and they're gonna have some of these other young characters coming, and everybody's looking at Young Avengers, but I keep circling back to Champions, and some of those covers, and I think Miss Marvel does have a long term. She's going to be the next part of the next generation of heroes. This is a pricey book right now, and when these books were coming out, Marvel did say buy all the point ones kind of deal. But there weren't, like, this is a downtime in collecting a lot of these Marvel Nows as well, so there aren't that many out there. Yeah. The red little bit on the Marvel Nows make them tougher 9/8. Not a lot of people were grading them when they first came out, so they did sit in boxes longer. I do like this book. Yeah.
I love this book, and I'll tell you why.
Have you sold it yet?
Exactly. It helped me get my New Mutants 98, baby. I really do not care for the character. I picked this up at $5.
You just said you love this book, and then you just, in the same breath, you said, I do not care for this character.
But I explained why I love this book, because it helped me get the one I care about.
All right, fair point.
Yes. But like I was saying, I picked up this book. I love the Miss Marvel character within comics. What I saw within the trailer was just kind of wonky. It did not, dude. I still don't understand how they're planning on doing this entire story by disregarding the Inhumans completely. You know what I mean? It's just, it's tough. It is tough, but it's okay. And I agree with Rocksteady. I do think, you know, Marvel is going heavy with the young ones, and they're developing the future, and it's perfect, man. This character is gonna hit on a ton of, you know, the young core viewers and stuff like that, but I'm not interested. I'm not. I'm happy to have sold it. Do I think this will continue to grow? We'll see, man. The newbie's gonna probably give the first episode a rough grading, but I don't think on this one he might be wrong. I hope the show is gonna be good, but when it comes to the entire story, I'm just puzzled as to how they're going to be positioning this. You know, without the Inhumans, it's really.
I hope they go the Champions route 100%, because I got a 9/8 that I could sell down the road for sure.
Yeah, but again, I paid $5 for this. It was my only copy, and I was happy to let it go simply because I do not see, and I don't even like the casting. I know that she's your local girl, but I think she's horrible.
Local. Mississauga is like 40 minutes away from me.
Whatever, but it's just, it doesn't do it for me, man. I thought the casting, you know, I hate shitting on a fucking little girl. You know what I mean? I don't want to bash.
That did not come out right.
Yeah, I did not.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to trash her, but it's just, it doesn't feel like Kamala Khan. Yeah,
but I'm gonna
no, but it didn't even feel like Kamala Khan. And I've said it many times before how, you know, Kamala Khan is technically just, you know, cosplaying Captain Marvel. It really felt like this actress was cosplaying Kamala Khan the whole time. Right. Like she didn't belong there.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, the costume could have been a bit more inspired. I agree. I was gonna say look more like Peter Parker when he went to that wrestling tournament before he becomes Spider-Man in the Sam Raimi version. Okay. Great. No, not the visual. I need Jesus. A BC. Man. But listen, I do feel that this character has, you know, a lot of upside because look, and Marvel kind of mentioned it, the whole representation aspect of it. Same way how, you know, people thought of Shang-Chi about his, you know, him repping the Asian community. You know, she'll be, you know, kind of doing the same thing for the South Asian part of it. So I do feel that because of that, she will have a following, and she will probably bring a whole new set of audience to Marvel that probably may not have paid attention before. Obviously, that all goes by the wayside if the story's shit, you know. So basically, I'm hoping to be proven wrong, but the trailer, yeah, I agree. The trailer didn't really inspire a lot of confidence in me.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching the trailer for like Degrassi: The Next Generation more than a Marvel MCU project.
Yeah.
So
And I understood the approach. You know what I mean? It's fine to target, you know, the younger crowd, but it's just, again, it did not feel at all anywhere close to Miss Marvel that I've come to know within the comics. I know that Marvel has a tendency of developing their characters slow paced. You know what I mean? Even the
Yeah.
costumes. I know everyone's shitting, like bashing the costumes, but there's tons of room for that to change. You know what I mean? Like watch Thor. You know what I mean? Thor, throughout the time, his costume changed. Iron Man, well, his Iron Man.
yeah, and I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping like that Marvel just did a thing where they just want to show just a little bit in their trailer
Yeah.
where they don't want to give their full hand. And yeah, like Jeff mentioned, she does have different costume changes in the comics.
Yeah.
So
But again, I'm not bashing like the image of the character. It's just, even when you're looking at with the bands, man, I was just like,
it looks
That's
like an
the
after
biggest
school
thing
special.
for me was the how they did the powers, right? Because she essentially has, you know, like she should be looking like Reed Richards, basically, right?
Well, I think that's I think you just hit the nail on the head. I think maybe one speculation is Marvel doesn't want similar power sets when the Fantastic Four eventually do come to the MCU.
Yeah.
Maybe that I know there was a lot of, you know,
And the markability, right? Like the fact that, like, oh, now we can get kids to go and buy those bands, and then they could,
Yeah.
you know, like there's also that aspect too, right? So
because I know that there was a lot of point of contention about how her stretchiness is kind of wasn't showcased. So maybe it might be later on. You never know. But like, there could be just a very simple reason that they don't want similar characters having the same power sets in the MCU.
yeah.
short term, this book has peaked. Long term, this book is gold.
Yeah, and I think again, I think that's going to also hinge on how the show does. And look, I know that we were kind of joking about some of the MCU shows, how I would say overall, though, in the grand scheme of things, the MCU shows do tend to deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Come
two
on.
out of the, you know,
Come
3 out of the 4 of
on,
us agree.
come on.
But I still think like our expectations are so high. Like they may not have blown us away, or they may not have been great, but they were like,
Yeah.
still good. Like they weren't dumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I think exactly. I think because Marvel
We
has
should probably
set a
get away
certain
from the dumps.
Yeah, no, we're talking shit nonstop.
But I think
right. I don't know where his mindset's at.
but I think Rocksteady does make a point. Like I think if we were to grade it on a curve, like let's say if this came out by Warner Brothers, maybe we might be a bit more favorable towards it. But because it's coming from Marvel, we've seen previous works of Marvel, so maybe, you know, rightfully so, we're kind of holding at a certain standard.
Yeah. If it was Sony, I think I would not care.
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm not watching
you know
that.
what? Yeah, I shouldn't have said Warner Brothers because they have been turning the ship around with some of their current projects. So yeah, they've been doing some good stuff lately.
Mr. Comic Forge is in the house. What's going on, brother? 1/3 of the pressable defects. You already know. Make sure you guys go check them out. Really solid dudes. All right. Moving on to the final book, guys, that we're going to be talking about. Hottest comics of March. And obviously, this needs no introduction. Obviously, the news 2 weeks ago of Nova being in development. Why? Because the writer from Moon Knight is actually the one going to be writing it. It is yet to be determined if it's going to be a show or if it's going to be a movie. We don't know that yet. Depending on who you ask and who you talk to, they'll tell you one way or the other. It's going to be very interesting to see where they go with this. But obviously, this book has just exploded. 9/8 for 3,500 Canadian, basically, which is, you know, I mean, I wouldn't spend that kind of money, but I also don't care about this character. This is, again, another character right off the bat I don't care about. Will I watch it? Absolutely. I love the cosmic stuff, so that intrigues me. However, I'll probably learn to like this character. I just, you know, I wouldn't name Nova the first 25 characters, basically. So we'll see. But what are your thoughts, guys? I know I know BC wanted this one. I know Comic Dude wanted this one, and he got it. There's a lot of Nova fans out there, and they're finally getting their due. So, you know, where do you sit on Nova, Rocksteady?
Yeah, first appearance, origin,
Yep.
first cover, first solo title.
His bro.
Like all your eggs are in one basket. You're not guessing.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to not if you believe in the book, is if you believe in the character.
Yeah.
Right. So Nova's a pretty big deal, and he is confirmed. It's what if we get the other Nova though? Right. What if
I
they
got a
go
9.8, so I'm
with
ready. I'm ready.
right? So what does that do to this book is my only concern. But I think this is like a solid book. This should be in everybody's collection.
Yep.
I think
First and foremost, before I get into this book was a grail I was chasing for quite some time. And someone who's here in the chat, man, I swear to God, guys, I'm not even kidding. He sent me this as an A-OK in a decent condition. And I mean decent. And Chris, Vancouver Comic Junkie, sent me this. Dude, blew me away simply because it was one that I felt I was never going to get in time. And man, Chris, forever grateful. But this book, dude, is definitely one to pick up. I'm surprised that this book didn't hit the numbers it's been hitting recently for quite some time. It really only started picking up once we started to get some spec. We'll say about a year back.
no, because I was gonna say like a year and a half ago, it did peak, and then it's dropped since till like 2 weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I many times, even within Guardians of the Galaxy, they reference the Nova Corps. You know what I mean? Like it's relevant within the MCU, and I always wonder, like, okay, if Nova Corps is there, you know what has happened, and then you hear that Xandar has been completely destroyed by Thanos, right? So I would love to know what happened. And I think those seeds were planted purposely because they will explore that. And then they will explore Sam Alexander. As we spoke about with Miss Marvel and stuff like that. And now Rocksteady was talking Champions, who also is on that Champions roster. Exactly. So I do think if we're going to be getting Nova, I expect to see both. I expect to see both, kind of like what they're doing, you could say with Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, you know what I mean? Like something along those lines where we're going to see what really happened with Richard Rider, what happened with Xandar, what happened with, like, I hope we get something like that. So I hope to see both. And I would be locking this down. You also mentioned the Marvel .1 where you have the first appearance of Sam Alexander. Newbie's got a 9.8. I hope to get a 9.8. But yeah, man. So like
$160 shipped.
Yeah, that's
9.8.
that's beauty. That's beauty. But man, if you didn't pick it up, I kind of feel like now is really too late. Especially that they announced there's a project taking place within, I think it's Disney, right? So they're doing it on Disney Plus. So there's tons of room, especially on Disney Plus, that they have time to explore within episodes, right? Like what happened with Xandar, with Nova Corps, all these years, what's taking place? Where's Richard Rider been? Like, we'll see.
Well, Marvel's moving away from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly.
And they're going to come out with cosmic films.
Yeah.
So where do they go? Right? Like this is a pretty good spot to go, a bridge, anyways.
But wait. Did they say that completely abandoning the whole Guardians team, or they're just abandoning?
No, this is the last time that we'll see the team be this team. So new characters will be coming.
So it's the team itself might just be, there could just be a shakeup in just the core members, probably, right?
Yeah.
But Nova was on Guardians at one point, no?
Yeah. Well, he was recently on the Donny Cates.
Yeah, that was actually the last of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Nova, where they said we can finally rest now. Like they finally went through the last annihilation, and that was it. Like they even kind of ended it off like, what do we do with ourselves? You know what I mean? It was like we're gonna rest. So that, it was a nice.
If you guys remember too, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but 2 years ago when it was like rumored that Nova was going to come, and then Feige came out and said when they asked him which one was coming, he didn't really shut the door on either of them. So like I wouldn't sleep on Sam, especially with like everything they're building with Champions and stuff. I mean, it's just a smart play, and we've seen the Sam Alexander book go. I mean, a year and a half ago, 9/8 was like 160, 200. Now 9/8 are like 500, 550. So
Yeah.
just something to keep out. Again, guys, Canadian, but just something to keep an eye out.
Yeah, and dude, just shedding again light on Vancouver Comic Junkie. He's spot on, man. Phyla-Vell and Quasar are two
I
characters.
got both.
Yeah, he actually sent me Quasar as well, man. So
Nice.
And the
sent me a Turok
Quasar
1.
origin is cheap.
He sent me a Turok 1. Can you believe that? He's sending you Nova, and he sent me a Turok 1. And a Where's Waldo?
You get what you deserve.
Waldo has a comic. Yeah, listen, I got this book. I actually got this book at the last con, Montreal Comic Con, before the whole world went to shit with the pandemic.
yeah,
So I was happy to get it at the price that I got it for, because obviously back then, like in 2019, this book was not going for nearly as much as it's going for right now. And I know that, people, like, I think BC was wondering why this book was under the radar. I think honestly it was a case of there were just a lot of copies circulating, and I hate to say, I know there's a lot of Nova fans, but I have to agree with Nuvi that Nova is not at that same tier as certain Marvel characters at the at the moment, right? So in terms
Hyper,
of popularity,
you think also though, and Greg, G, and maybe in chat too. Obviously, I love always getting your opinion, but do you think that this book falls perfectly in that category of I'll get it later? I'll get it later. There's so many.
100%.
of course, yeah, because
I'll get it later, and then
because you always see deals
like,
on this book.
I'm not spending $4,000 on a fucking Nova 1. That's
no, dude, forget $4,000. Even those couple of hundreds where it was sitting at, right? Like for the longest time, you could have picked up a raw copy for $100.
Yeah.
$150, and it was always taking the back seat, right? Because you always ask yourself, okay, but for $150, what else could I grab? And you always went for the other stuff. But
The
now
two books are on the wall, the hot book or that one, right?
But exactly.
Yeah.
And here you are. Now you're scrambling for it. So I agree 100%, man. Like this has always been the one that ended up taking the back seat, and now here we are, front runner.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with this book though, that's why they not so much right now, but back then they would say that the way you would have to set yourself apart from everyone else that's buying this book is you kind of had no choice but to get those high 9 books in order to kind of set yourself apart from the crowd, because like I said, because it was pretty common to find like 7.0s, 8.0s for dirt cheap. Well, I mean cheap relative to whatever people can spend on comics, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
So but now, obviously with these prices, an 8.0 is looking pretty good right now for some people in terms of what they can spend on this book.
I just think there's too many 9.6s and 9.8s out there that.
But
it's an investment. You probably want to get higher. If it's a personal book, like a PC book,
yeah,
I would probably get whatever grade, because obviously they're going to be using.
If it's for the PC, it's different. But like if you're looking at it in terms of like having an upside, then you're going to have to kind of go for the higher tier grades, just because that's
you got time for this though. Like I think it'll just keep dropping, to be honest with you, like because as comic people and everything that's coming, like Doctor Strange, Thor, She-Hulk, I forget the other one, but like everything that's coming, people who have it might be like, I'll sell it and go get something else, or it'll just drop naturally like things do, right? Because
but the 9.8s stick around.
Yeah, 9.8s will, but I mean 9.4, 9.6,
yeah.
Those will
but
come
here's
around.
the thing.
The census levels out after all this.
The thing is,
sends the books away.
It's very much like the Marvel news cycle, and we've seen this with the mutants as well. Like, like a year or two back, a lot of those X-Men related books were going for a lot more than they're still going for a lot, but we've seen like a lot of the X titles have kind of cooled down a bit. Some of them have actually kind of almost corrected themselves to the price they were at previously. So this could be a case where, look, Nova is announced, but we don't know how far out he's actually going to appear in the MCU. So this could be a case where if you're still looking for this book, obviously don't get it like at this moment, because we're still very fresh from the announcement. But I could see this book kind of dropping, not dropping to its original market prices, but taking a bit of a drop once we're kind of far removed from the news and other news starts taking over, where people kind of have their attention focused on that.
Yeah. I just want to again bring up because it's another good point, man. Chris, Vancouver Comic Junkie, man, snag Annihilation prologue as well, dude. I'd be also specking on the Annihilators, man. I've been actually picking up Thanos Imperative or the their first appearance as much as I could. But yeah, good point, man.
Yeah. Every time I've always said, anytime something is announced or confirmed to come, unless you can find it or oh, my shop has it, maybe they didn't spike it, you automatically are late to the party. You have to go right or left. You have to just go somewhere else because you're already late. It's too late.
Yeah.
So.
RP, man.
I mean, look, RP. If that was the only 3, that's one thing. But if he's giving every show a 3, does it really, at that point, does that 3 really weigh as much?
Right.
I'm sorry. I demand more. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But guys, that is the hottest comics of March. I want to thank everybody who was hanging out with us. We had about like 78 people at one point. So appreciate it. Everybody's been hanging out. I mean, we still got 60 strong. Before we leave, really quickly, Rocksteady, I do want to thank you for hopping on, man. Hopefully you come back again. Dude, it's been a pleasure.
Grateful, had a blast.
Hey, that was his first show, man. Come on, guys. Put it together, man. He killed it.
You're here for
Hyper.
Rocksteady and also for the debut of Flamenco.
Hyper. Well, listen, Rocksteady, I know that we were talking, but you got a few things popping, but let the people know, man. Where can they find you? What to expect next? I mean, you're on Instagram. You want to do YouTube. You got a few things, but let the people know.
So at Rocksteady Collectibles on Instagram. I don't do much on there, but I maybe share a little bit of knowledge I have or a little bit of spec. And yeah, I just got accepted to Whatnot, so I do my little orientation tomorrow.
At least one of us did.
Here we go, Canada. Let's do this.
Yeah, man, pumped for you, dude. I'm happy that you're joining it, and like I said, man, open invitation all the time. Make sure you guys go check out Rocksteady Collectibles on Instagram. It's right there. He's in a lot of people's shows, a lot of people's Whatnot. Friendly dude, knowledgeable. He's on the West Coast, so basically he means you can message him late at night and he'll still be up. So
yeah, man.
But I appreciate you, man, hopping on. I hope you come back again. Comic Kingpins, 2 of you here, 2 out of 5, 40%. Which one of you is talking, letting the people know what's happening?
Well, if you guys want to see me and this beautiful man right here, Comic Kingpins on YouTube, go check us out. We actually dropped complete spoilers for Hulk issue 6. That hasn't even come out yet. It's still coming out, I think, in about 3 weeks from now. But yeah, man, if you guys want to know what's happening with Titan and all that good stuff, go check it out. We have our FOC show every Friday at 5 p.m. So we we let you guys know what we're ordering. We just, our picks of the week. And yeah, man, so come hang out. April 18th makes 6 months since we launched, and we are planning a community hangout show, man. Just chilling with the community. So guys, chat, panel, Rocksteady, newbie, you guys want in, you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. The door is open, man. So that's it.
Perfect.
And I'll just add to that, everything what BC said, I second that. And just on a side note, I just want to mention, like I said earlier, that I was on Moonlit Comics show earlier on reviewing episode 1 of Moon Knight, so definitely check that out on the Rewind. She's going to be having a revolving guest of panels for the next 5 episodes. So
I look forward to being asked to do that, by the way.
Sorry?
I would love to be asked to do that. Give my ratings for Moon Knight.
Oh God, no, you don't want it.
She actually might want this fresh perspective.
Yeah, well, she's a huge Moon Knight fan, obviously. But yeah, we'll see where that goes.
And you just basically crapped on the character, saying that he's not even. Wait, was Moon Knight the one that you said is not even in your top 25?
Yeah, oh yeah. I would think of I'd probably think of DC characters before I thought of Moon Knight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but 18 different Iron Man are in his top 25.
Yeah, the different
Mark
suits.
Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3.
Space, underwater. No.
And guys, if we haven't learned anything, we learned this. Wayne Gretzky, Alexander Ovechkin, Igor Slamenko.
There it is. And don't forget Bushmaster.
Top line of all time.
Bushmaster.
You forgot. You know what? Forget it. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for hopping on tonight. It was a blast. Rocksteady, you did great, man. Hopefully come back. Chat, It's been fun. Have fun tomorrow with New Comic Book Day and what's the show? Oh yeah, Moon Knight. I have more taste in my penis than New
Wow.
Thanksgiving. Wow. Jesus. Oh my God. Wow.
This is
I love Chris, bro. You have no idea.
Yeah. Chris, as always, man, it's always a pleasure having you here, man. We'll chat. But
I'm glad that wasn't a super chat that newbie had to read out loud.
yeah, thank God. Yeah, it's been a blast. Sunday night, 9:35 p.m. Eastern Time, New Comic Book Day. And then guys, you'll get my review of Moon Knight episode 2 then. So yeah, that's it. Any last words?
Oh no, I'm okay.
Visit your
Much love,
library.
guys.
All right.
Happy
Remember,
Moon Knight.
Spider-Punk comes out tomorrow. Sell quick. Sell quick.
All right.